Good morning. This is the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show. My name's Dave Burney.
I'm Brent Apperson. Good morning.
Brent.
Dave.
You didn't let me know. I thought you should call me last night.
I'm sorry. About?
Well, did Mom and Dad make it home?
Oh, yes, they did. Yeah. They got up early in the morning Monday and got home. I think I got a text somewhere between 3 and 3:30 saying they had made it home.
They made pretty good time.
Yeah, yep.
Next time call me, let me know.
I'm sorry. I should have. I apologize for that. Actually, what I need to do is I just need to give Mom your number, and then that way she would probably text you before she texted me to let you know that, Dave, we made it. We made it home safely. Thank you for everything.
I know that Peg. Does she prefer Peg or Peggy? I should have asked her that.
Oh, I think either one probably.
I think Peggy is a little. Peggy and Shelley, those chocolate chip cookies are to die for. They're wonderful. I happened to see your wife yesterday afternoon, and I did thank her for them. And
that's what she said.
They're just so soft, and there's so many chocolate chips in them. They're so good.
Well, good.
Busy day today, and I'm going to cut out on Brent here in a little bit, but he's going to have plenty of company. You got a bunch of people coming in here today. If everybody shows up, you won't have much time other than just get everybody in and out of the room here, which is good.
Yeah, very good.
Very good. So we're going to roll right along here and do what we need to do here on the Breakfast Show this morning, and keep it very, very sharp. And, speaking of sharp.
Oh.
Speaking of missing the boat.
Uh-oh.
I had no idea that there was any rain last night. So
we got rain?
Well, I didn't
Honestly, I didn't know that.
It's dry as a bone out here, but the airport reported 200s precipitation. There must have been some scattered showers. And then after I saw that, right at 7 o'clock, I went out and looked, and yes, there was a couple of hundreds precipitation in the rain gauge. So for you record keepers out there, and I know some of you do that, there was 200s precipitation as of 7 o'clock this morning. So for the month, it's 1.89 inches now.
All right.
I did not have a clue. It was just no indication of any rain that I could see, but it must have sprinkled sometime during the night.
Apparently.
So apologies there. So 200s.
All right.
Add that to the monthly total. You're listening to the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show on a Tuesday.
280, or 540. If you know, call us at 872-2801.
It's Tumbleweed Day. We've got a call coming in. We'll see if we can give away a tumbleweed meal.
It's spoken weekly, well, probably daily, from newcomers to Broken Bow. Wow, look at all the cars around that place, the Tumbleweed Cafe. Visitors wonder why, and locals know why. The delicious home-cooked meals of the Tumbleweed Cafe are absolutely amazing. Looking for a fun part-time job? They're hiring. The Tumbleweed Cafe, open Monday to Saturday, 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. on East Highway 2, Broken Bow.
All right, we have Steve Hornickel on the line, and Steve is real good about our chat box. He's oftentimes just saying good morning and telling us to have a good day, and so it's great to have you on the air, Steve. How you doing?
Oh, pretty good. I like to get my day started with you. It makes the whole day go better. So.
Well,
that's nice to hear.
That's nice of you to say that. Do you know a lot about eggs, Steve?
We've got a few chickens, but they don't always lay what they're supposed to, so this might be a tricky question.
Well, that's true. You know, they don't lay all the time, so we're going to have to kind of average it out, I guess. I wouldn't have a clue on that, so I'll turn it over to Brent and see if we can get you a tumbleweed meal here.
All right, Steve. How many eggs on average does a chicken lay each year? Your choices are 80, 130, 280, or 540.
If I had a chicken that laid 540 eggs, I'd sell it to you real quick.
Yeah.
I would say C.
C?
180.
280?
Or 280.
Yeah, 280. Yeah. Guess what, Steve? You're right.
Wow.
That's it.
Hey,
yeah.
Sounds good.
All right. And because you've answered correctly, we've got a certificate that'll get you a tumbleweed meal at the Tumbleweed. So come on out and see us.
Hey, Steve.
Thank you very much.
You bet. How do you like your eggs, by the way? What's your favorite way to cook them?
Probably over easy.
Yeah, I'm with you.
But I'll eat them anyway. So.
Well, hey, thanks for listening and being so friendly with us. We appreciate it.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Steve.
Have a good day.
You too. All right. Steve's already said good morning in the chat box, and now we've had him on the air here, so that's great. And he'll enjoy a tumbleweed meal out at the Tumbleweed Cafe. As long as we're talking about the tumbleweed, let's just visit about what they can offer you. Home-cooked style meals. If you want an egg over easy at the Tumbleweed, you can do that any time of the day. You can also have their wonderful omelets. I highly recommend the Denver omelet. That's very good.
Very good.
Yep. And they've got cheese omelets and ham and cheese omelets, and it's all great. Hash browns with that. Maybe toast with a little butter on it. Yeah, if you like jelly, put a little jelly on the toast. They got it all there for you.
Yes, they do.
And if you're there before, like, say, 10, 11 o'clock, you can have big old pancake. And we just dare you to eat two. You'll take a nap after you do. Also, waffles are available, and so those goodies are available in the morning, but breakfast is available all day. Then they have their noon specials and their evening specials, save you a little money, have a special designed up for you, and they usually have dessert with that, by the way. And if you just want to go in and have a bowl of ice cream, they've got ice cream there, and they'll put chocolate on the top for you.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't know all the different flavors of ice cream, but I'd usually go with the vanilla with the chocolate topping on it.
Yep.
By the way, throw in a piece of pie with that ice cream.
There you go.
Whatever your favorite kind is, they have a lot of different kinds there. A lot of people like apple pie with ice cream. Pecan pie is good with ice cream. Anyway, those are all of something you can look at and see what they have in the pie display there. And then, of course, off the menu, you can order all kinds of great meals. And Carmen really would like to talk to you if you'd like to have a gathering in their, we call it party room or meeting room, and they can cater you right there. And you can have your club meetings there, wedding receptions, all sorts of activities, business meetings. It's a real nice room, and it's real handy because they can serve you while you're there. Carmen is ready for you 7 days a week. And don't forget about their drive-through now. And I see that is still being used a lot. That came out of the COVID era, but added a new service to you folks out there. So you can, call the Tumbleweed and say, I'd like some mashed potatoes with noodles over the top, if you have that for a special. And they do sometimes. and then maybe some fried chicken. And you can just pick it up.
There you go.
Tumbleweed Cafe, Carmen and the crew ready for you. 7:46 is your time. Anything else on your mind?
I don't think so. Baseball tonight. We got a baseball broadcast. Our first one of the year will be at Paul Brown Field for the American Legion Seniors home opener, and we'll call it for you with game time set for around 8. Juniors play before that, though, so head on out, watch them at 5:30. Then we'll have the seniors game on the air to follow. Both teams off to a good start in the first few games they've played this year.
Yep, and they got the new net up there, the backstop. You can see right through it. It's a lot easier to see the game from the grandstands now, from the bleachers, or you can park along the left field or right field side. Gets a little congested down in the right field side, seems like.
Yeah, that's always been a popular spot.
That was really double parked there on Sunday, or triple parked, but everybody got in, and some people put up tops over the back of their pickup and sit in the back of their pickup. That's what baseball's all about, relaxing and watching a good ball game.
Yes, there you go.
Paul Brown Field tonight, and it'll be on KBBN. This is all weather permitting. There is a 50-50 chance of shower activity tonight, so we'll watch that carefully, and if there's any unsettled weather, Jeff Bailey will cover that for us here at the studio. All right, let me think. That's about as long as I can think this morning. That's about it.
I'm right with you. It's one of those mornings.
Whew, yeah.
Have you ever just had mornings where you wake up and you just feel sharp?
Yeah.
You know, your brain is just, I don't know, just real sharp. And then there's other days where you wake up and you're just like, I just ain't got it today.
Well, that's where yours truly is. I got hooked on another pagan Christian Viking show, and it's just on and on. It's a different show, but some of the same themes.
Can you sleep good? I mean, you've described some of these shows to me.
Yeah.
I've never seen it, probably won't, but you've kind of described some of the scenes and some of the episodes that you've watched. I mean, can you sleep after watching an episode of that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now this newest one is actually. Well, not to get too long on this, but it's not quite as they don't have quite as many battles or violent scenes as the other one did. But they still have the same tugs and pulls going on. And then, these kings just can't behave themselves. They like to have a couple girlfriends and a wife, and it's just that part of it's more distressing than the violence, to be honest with you. It just can't seem to settle down, and then the Vikings want to plunder everything, and steal the silver, and a lot of manipulation going on as far as who gets the money. It's not changed much since that time.
Wow.
Yeah. So, I did stay up and watch an extra show last night, so I'm a little bit
That's
duller.
the problem we've talked about the way TV has changed, and with apps and everything. It's tough not to binge watch stuff.
Yeah, we try to watch one or maybe two, but we were so nice last night. You also stay up later just naturally now because it was just beautiful.
It was
yesterday evening, as the weekend was so nice. So some yard work and some garden work and that sort of thing. Next thing you know, it's 9 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
So then, you haven't eaten supper, or it's just the days, your sleeping time gets shorter in the summer, seems like, because of the length of the day. But, I mean, sunrise right now is like at 6:17, so sign-on is like great because you walk out and it's already starting to get light out,
yes.
In the 5 o'clock hour. For those farmers out there, the guys and the gals who are planting, those long days work out nicely. And I think planting is going pretty well. I think the conditions out there have been favorable. And I don't know, a little shower would probably slow things down a little bit. But I tell you, I tilled the garden last night. I could not believe how dry and hard that garden was.
No, really?
Yeah, and you think you had that rain a while back, but boy, we still need some more. Mm-hmm. And we have the guy right here, just walked in the door to talk about that very situation. I rented the tiller from Arrow Seed yesterday. It worked great, Logan.
Well, good.
Yeah, it
I'm
worked
glad.
fine. I'll bring it down to you when I get. I'll just drop it off.
That'd be fine.
You was talking about throwing it in the pickup this morning. I would hate for you and me to do that together because I wouldn't hold up my end. That thing's heavy.
It is a little bit on the heavy side.
Yeah. So I'll just bring the trailer and we'll drop it off. Okay. But it worked great. But I was surprised how, and you know, I'll admit we hadn't watered down there since the rain because we thought, you know, it's okay. It was dry.
Yep. So one of the cool things, that cover crop you planted, one of the reasons it was probably a little bit drier, obviously the cover crop was growing, but your water infiltration was probably that much better.
Went down?
Went down. Yep.
Oh, good. So, well, I didn't hit any big rocks or tree stumps or anything, so I think the unit's ready to go for the next person.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I'm glad.
Then they just come in and set up a time for that?
Yeah, just call and make sure that it's not spoken for, not reserved.
Okay. All right.
So,
all right. And do you rent fertilizer deals? What do you call them?
Spreaders?
Spreader. Yeah, spreaders.
We don't
do that anymore.
We don't rent them.
Okay.
No.
So if you're going to put on dry fertilizer, you need to have your own spreader.
Yep. Unless you're part of our 5-step program.
That's right.
Yep.
Talk about that a little bit.
So we're finishing up the first step, which is the crabgrass pre-emergent. The next step will probably be in a week or two, and that is the malorganite, which is just a low dose of organic nitrogen. So.
All right. Where are we at? You mentioned last time you were here that folks might want to get those brown spots, kind of maybe have a plan on those, whether they're going to come back or not, or whether you need to replant.
If you're going to do that, do it now.
Now?
Now.
Okay.
Yep. Do it now. Because if it hasn't came back yet, it's probably not going to.
All right. So you just, well, you'll help them through that on how to do that, depending on what they're, how much they're having to replant. And,
exactly.
Okay.
Yep.
Right.
Or, you know, if they come here, they can talk to Jeremy. He could let them know the process.
Yeah, he has a vast amount of experience from last weekend on his. I think he replanted half his yard.
Yep. So
yeah, well, we needed some snow cover this last winter. Boy,
it was tough.
Yeah, it shows you how important a nice layer of snow is in the wintertime, doesn't it?
It does. Yeah. And if the wind didn't blow every single day at 40 plus miles an hour.
Yeah. Well, we've had some nice days recently. We're going to be back into the 60s this weekend.
We are, and then it's going to get cold again.
Yeah, so that soil temperature's okay for planting, but it's not all that much for growing yet.
Exactly. Yep. And you know, you said you tilled up your garden, tilled your cover crop under. I actually want to touch a little bit on some of the garden stuff we've got. We do still have a really good selection in our greenhouse. So we've got all the pertinent salsa veggies, as I like to call them. You know, the tomatoes, peppers, some of the herbs and other plants like that. We've got some squash, some cucumbers. I think there might be some watermelons left. But then we've also got some really good flowers.
Oh, nice.
So that brings me to my next point. And to have a successful garden, you need to have pollinators visit it. You know, without pollination, a lot of fruits and veggies don't produce fruits or veggies. And I think you guys have a wildflower patch.
Yep, we do. Thanks to you again.
You know.
Yep.
And if you can attract the, you know, bees and butterflies and other pollinating insects, they'll visit your garden. You'll have better fruit set.
It's just, I think folks who have those or have had them know that it's this nice place to sit and watch the bugs and the bees and the birds. We have a water there, and it's just watching a little piece of nature right there in front of you.
It is, and that, you know, that's the cool thing. I did learn that some bees are actually allergic to pollen, though.
Really?
They are. If they get too much pollen, they happen to end up in hives.
I gotta have a drink of coffee.
It's terrible when the bee gets hives. My goodness, that's an allergic reaction for sure. Yikes.
So,
what else would you like to talk about there, Mr. Gerard?
Well, if you don't like misshapen cucumbers, you know, sometimes you get the cucumbers that are they're either really, really bitter, or they're just really kind of odd shaped.
Yes.
And that's actually from poor pollination.
Is it?
So cucumbers are one of the least favorite vegetables for pollinators to visit. So we've got some cucumber seed that's parocarpathentic. I forget how to say it. Anyway, they don't need visited by insects to produce a fruit. They don't need pollinated to set fruit. So that being said, if you want to try something new, maybe you don't want to stray from the normal.
Right.
But these cucumbers will give you more consistent results because they don't need pollination to produce a fruit.
Do you have a lot of that on hand?
We've got a fair amount.
I want some.
Yep.
Because we have exactly that problem with, have not been able to raise cucumbers worth a hoot.
Mm-hmm.
And they're odd shaped, and when we eat them, they aren't very good.
Yeah, and it's just a result of poor pollination.
I didn't know that.
So
I'll try. Could I be an experimental customer and give it a try?
You could be.
All right.
So, so there's things you can do to increase that pollination in your garden, increase the pollination, increase the productivity of it, better quality fruit, better quality vegetables, just all around better.
Yeah, it's just a great combination, and you're just really taking advantage of what nature's given us, rather than eliminating some of those things. We're enhancing them.
Exactly. And like tomatoes are actually self-pollinating, which means they have the male and female parts in the same flower, so they can pollinate themselves. But why not help them out? Bees, butterflies, they're going to come to those flowers anyway. Why not give them a little boost and make it so your garden's more attractive to those insects?
And the cost to do that is so minimal. It's amazing.
It doesn't take much to have a pretty good native flower patch, or kind of a wildflower patch next to your garden. Around my house, I've planted a lot of native plants, and the first year you might not get all of them to bloom, but the second through however many years, they're going to keep blooming. I've got a really good milkweed patch in my yard, and the amount of butterflies that milkweeds attract is absolutely ridiculous. But you see the butterflies in my milkweeds, and then you see them around the back of the house in the garden, so you know that they're in the area. They're going around to different plants and carrying pollen with them. All
right. All of these things really that you've talked about, as far as the gardening side of it and pollinators, you can get into that very reasonable. I mean, it's not a bunch of costs. You got a little labor to put them in, but then you get the fruits of your labor.
Exactly. He's learning.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm on it.
Yep.
I'm just wanting to know if he'll share with his neighbor when the garden starts producing. I hope he will.
Well, highly unlikely, but possible.
You know what? I'd probably consider if he would have come over and run the tiller yesterday.
I didn't offer to do that, did I?
Well.
Yeah. I usually, if you have a good year, you share because you want everybody to enjoy it. So, yes, if we have extra tomatoes or so forth, I'd send some your way.
Oh, nice.
I'll bet you anything he's just going to plant a whole bunch of zucchini for you.
Yeah.
Well,
here's a zucchini.
Yeah, thanks. Here's another one for you, Brent.
I'll put it on your doorstep.
Here, I'm bringing 2 over for you today.
Just one of them for a doorstop.
Yeah. You mentioned Dave's been talking about renting a tiller. Are there some other things that you guys rent out?
We've got an aerator for your lawn.
Okay.
So that's the plugger, or it leaves the little plugs. That lets a little bit more air, a little bit more water down towards the roots. Roots need to breathe, so it's crazy when you think about it, because they're underground. So why would they need to breathe? But they need air to have healthy plants. That's why when things get flooded out, or when water stands for a long time, it kills the grass underneath, because that grass can't breathe.
Get the air.
Yep, can't get the air.
Okay. And this is a plugger, you said?
Yep, an aerator.
Aerator. Okay. Yep. All right. You can rent that. Is this by the hour? Is that how that works?
It is.
Okay.
Yep. We've also got some rollers. So if you're planting new grass, the king of any new seeding is seed to soil contact. So if you just throw grass seed out there and rake it in, that's good. But to make it better, you pack it down, either walk on it, drive on it, rent one of our rollers. You fill them up with water so they're super heavy, and then you just roll over your new seeding, and that squishes everything down to get that seed to soil contact.
Okay. All right.
So,
well, do it now, right, as far as the grass goes?
Yes. Get it in the ground now. You're running up against the calendar.
Mother Nature deadline.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Anything else?
I think that pretty well covers what I wanted to talk about. When talking about all these insects in your garden and stuff, yes, there are some not so good insects in the garden, but if you can increase the amount of beneficial insects, you'll see less of the
predators type. Yeah.
You'll see less of the non-beneficials.
Okay. All right. The greenhouse, you got flowers and all sorts of things in there for folks to look at. And of course, Becky has all the things you want to put in your yard to make things looks nice, and so you're fully ready to go.
Yep, and she's done a really, really good job with all that stuff. So, okay. And she's done really good in the greenhouse as well.
All right, come take a look.
So yeah, come see us.
Arrow Seed in Broken Bow, Nebraska, one of the oldest businesses around. Been here a long time. 5 full days a week and a half day on Saturday, right?
Yes. Yep. 8 to noon on Saturday, 8 to 5:30 through the week.
All right. Thanks, Logan.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Appreciate it. We'll take a timeout, then it's some news for you.
Remember the time you used to spend fighting weeds and bugs? Now you can spend that time elsewhere because aerial application is your best advantage against these problems. Let Aero Aviation take control.
When you need a helping hand to get the most from your land, Aero Aviation, let us take control.
For over 50 years, Aero Aviation has been serving the area. Contact Casey to schedule your aerial application this spring.
For those 62 years of age and for those that are handicapped or disabled regardless of their age, the Grand Generation Manor in Callaway has affordable housing available. An equal housing opportunity provider and employer. They're located at 200 South Grand Avenue in Callaway. The Grand Generation Manor.
The Quilting Shack in Broken Bow is the place to go when you need sewing and quilting supplies. They just received a huge selection of new fabric, so stop in and check it out. The girls would love to help you with any project you are working on. May 22nd, they will be having a Laura Heine applique class from 1 to 5. Seats in this class are limited, so stop by or call for more details or to get registered. The Quilting Shack, East Highway 2, Broken Bow.
You are listening to the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show. Go, go, go! On KCNI, KBBN, Broken Bow, Nebraska.
CBS News special report. President Biden and the First Lady are on their way to Buffalo now to meet with families of the victims of Saturday's supermarket massacre. White House spokeswoman Karine Jean-Pierre.
Hate must not have a safe harbor. This is something that the president says very often, especially in these horrific incidents.
Correspondent Jerika Duncan met with a loved one.
She gave me a hug, told me she loved me like we always do.
That was the last time Roberta Drury's best friend, who says he does not want to be identified, saw her. Moments later,
she walked around the corner. I heard gunshots. I started seeing everybody run out of tops.
The gunman shot and killed Drury outside the supermarket.
A document allegedly linked to the 18-year-old suspect shows he believed in a racist theory of a plot to replace white people with people of color. Officials believe he planned to continue his killing spree at other locations after months of scouting. CBS News special report. I'm Deborah Rodriguez.
Here's a look at Nebraska news. I'm Dave Burney reporting. The ACLU of Nebraska and Nebraskans for Medical Marijuana on Monday said they're filing a lawsuit alleging that Nebraska's signature requirements to get on the ballot are unconstitutional. Nebraska requires that a referendum needs signatures from at least 5% of registered voters in 38 out of 93 counties to get on the ballot. According to the ACLU, that requirement creates a roadblock in the petitioning process. The two organizations announced during a news conference yesterday that they're filing a new federal civil rights lawsuit against the state's requirements on the referendums. The ACLU of Nebraska and NMM's lawsuit alleges the state's law is unconstitutional, claiming it violates the First and 14th Amendments of the U.S. Constitution. The lawsuit states that the current law treats signatures unequally due to geography, which the ACLU claims violates the principle of one person, one vote that is protected by the 14th Amendment. The ACLU claims power is skewed in favor of rural counties in Nebraska when it comes to ballot initiatives. They claim one vote in Arthur County has as much voting power as over 1,200 in Douglas County regarding signatures thresholds. That's Nebraska News.
From the Fox Sports Studios in Los Angeles, here's Eddie Garcia.
The NBA playoffs were off on Monday. They'll resume Tuesday with Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals as the Miami Heat host the Boston Celtics. The NHL Stanley Cup Playoffs also off on Monday. They'll also resume on Tuesday with a pair of second-round games. The Tampa Bay Lightning are at the Florida Panthers, and the St. Louis Blues are at the Colorado Avalanche. In baseball games of note, the Yankees improved to a league-best 26-9 with a 6-2 win over the Orioles. Dodgers edged the Diamondbacks 5-4. Chris Taylor's two-run homer in the sixth inning ended up being the game-winning hit. LA is now a half game up on idle San Diego for the NL West lead, and percentage points up on the New York Mets for the top record in the National League. Astros lose to the Red Sox 6-3. Angels fall to the Rangers 7-4, so Houston is still percentage points up on the Angels for the AL West lead. The Brewers shut out the Braves 1-0. Milwaukee on top in the NL Central scored their only run on a wild pitch in the sixth inning. The Twins, leaders of the AL Central, beat the A's in Oakland 3-1, while the Mets, leaders in the AL East, had their game against the Cardinals rained out.
Here's your weatherology forecast. For today, look for a mixture of clouds and sunshine. Can't rule out a slight chance for an isolated shower or storm into the afternoon as highs reach the middle 80s. Then for tonight, lingering chance for showers and storms in the evening, a low of 54. We're back to sunny and dry conditions on Wednesday, low 80s for highs. Thursday, hotter but breezy conditions, highs approach 90. For the Weatherology Weather Center, I'm staff meteorologist Michael Carroll.
Let's see, if something costs less, but people are happier with it, that sounds like something to look into, and that's Medishare. Maybe you've heard switching to Medishare to pay for health care can save the typical family $500 a month, and that's huge, but it's also true that people are way more satisfied after making the switch, too. The customer satisfaction rate for Medishare is double that of the typical health insurance plan. Double. Medishare works. It's been around for more than a quarter century, and members have shared more than $3 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network. So, yeah, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care. So if you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan you're happy with, you can call right now and get a price within 2 minutes. A very, very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need. 866-88-BIBLE. That's 866-88-BIBLE. 866-88-BIBLE.
9 minutes past the hour of 8 o'clock. Brent and Dave with you here on The Breakfast Show. 64 degrees outside, partly cloudy. Winds are picking up out of the south now at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Barometric pressures at 29.85 steady. Humidity at 73%. High yesterday was a warm 84, an overnight low, let me write that down, of 62 degrees. Sun set today at 8:52, sunrise tomorrow morning at 6:17, and we talked about it. 200s precipitation measured overnight, and we was talking with Logan. He was talking about quite a display of thunder and lightning last night, somewhere around 11 o'clock, and just have to be honest with you, Brent and Dave were both in bed by then.
That's right.
I think went to bed about 10. It wasn't.
Had no idea anything was happening outside.
So forgive us because it wasn't doing that when we went to bed, and it looked dry this morning. But we did pick up 200s, and it looked like it was really going to tear into it, according to Logan. But at least here in the immediate area, not a lot of precipitation out of it. So we do have that 50% chance of precipitation tonight. You are listening to The Breakfast Show on a Tuesday.
You're listening to the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show with Dave and Brent.
And we're back live in the studio. You're listening to the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show, 8:24 the time on this nice Tuesday morning, and we have guests in the studio from Adams Land and Cattle.
Yes, how are you?
Liz, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Mr. Zuha, how you been?
I'm doing great.
Haven't seen you in a while.
Well, I don't get out much.
Oh, you don't?
No,
okay.
My wife don't let me get out much anymore.
Well, we could continue with that discussion, but we'll just leave it there.
Yeah, we better leave that alone.
Well, I assume that you guys are here to talk about compost because we're in that time of year. And my first question is, when did you guys kind of start doing this? Because I remember when you came in for the first time, was it a couple of years ago or 3?
Yeah, this is our 3rd year doing it.
Okay.
We took a 1-year break due to COVID when things were going on, but this is our 3rd year, and we're happy to say I think it's been our busiest year so far.
Well, yeah, you've already been giving the people the opportunity to come and get it, but it sounds like you've got one final chance if you want some of it. Is that correct, Dave?
Yes, that is. So this coming Saturday, from 9 till 1, it'll be our final weekend for doing this here this summer. So had a great weekend this last weekend, just unbelievable turnout, just a great weekend.
Yeah, we were kind of talking about that when we were getting ready to come on the air, and it sounds like you may have given away more this past weekend than you ever did in any of the previous weekends.
Well, it was definitely a nice weekend to do this one. But yes, I think we come pretty close to giving away 50 ton over the weekend, and more to come this weekend.
Yeah. Well, I think it speaks to, obviously, people are so interested in getting it and using it, but I think it also talks, I think, too, about the quality of it, too. Does it not, Dave?
Well, yeah, it does, and I tell you, I think there's a lot of, here in the past couple of years, there's a lot of gardening projects going on that people enjoy getting out and doing, and this quality of this product is really a soil inhibitor, so it's really, really good for the soil and for gardening and plants, and you will notice a difference.
Yeah. And well, obviously people have noticed a difference because they keep coming back every time that you guys do this.
Oh, yeah. It's, I've noticed year over year, the guys, people would come out and say that, yeah, it really made a difference the year before and want to continue that.
Yeah. Okay, so the process for people to come out, if they're not familiar with it, where do they need to go? Where's the pickup site? And what do they need to bring with them?
Yeah, so we are located, if you go south on Highway 21, and we have a loadout entrance, which is just north of our main entrance, and we'll be there. We have a tent. We even put some balloons on the stop sign, so you can't miss us. And we just have you pull in, turn around, and back up. What we recommend is bringing buckets. Some people have brought lick tubs, something that allows for you to have an easy transport. We have shovels there, so don't worry about bringing the shovels, but we'll get you loaded up and ready to go.
So you guys are there to assist them when they come to pick it up?
Oh, yeah, we'd be glad to do that. It's we want to be a part of it, too, and it's kind of funny. We'll be helping out, and there'll be little kids out there with their little scoop shovels helping out, filling the buckets, and they're getting into it just as much as everybody else.
Yeah. Well, and isn't that fun when you bring even something like this? I mean, when you've got the little kids helping, I don't know. It just makes it even more special, and it kind of sounds like that's what it's about.
Well, and we had the 3rd graders out to the feedlot last week as part of our, we've been doing that for, I think, 30 years now. So the Broken Bow 3rd graders came out, and as we talked to them about the cycle where we purchase the corn from the farmers, feed the cattle, and what we do with the product and put it back on the fields, we also gave them vegetable and fruit seeds so that they could plant and come out for compost days. So we've seen some of those students, some of the teachers come out and plan their gardening for the summer.
Well, I know that being involved in and giving back to the community has always been important to Adams Land and Cattle. And here's another example of it with the compost that you guys are giving away. And then we always read about other fundraisers and things that you guys have been doing. You got to be really proud of that, Liz.
Yeah, it's, when you look at I think Dave and I both agree. You want to work someplace that you feel gives back to the community that you live in and supports their employees doing so as well. And Adams definitely practices what they preach, and they give back to the community, and that's something that I know I value so much in an employer. And it started from the top, right? I mean, Russ and Anjanette to Bill and Jerry, and Jerry was out there on Sunday shoveling harder than any of us. So
I believe that.
Yes.
Yeah, I believe that.
Yeah, so no, I think you hit on it great. It's wonderful to be part of that. We're happy to be in this community.
Yeah. Well, and May is Beef Month.
It is.
And we know Adams Land and Cattle is all about beef.
Yep.
So this is great. In case people are just tuning in, hours again for the compost on Saturday.
Yep. So this Saturday, this weekend, is Saturday from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Bring your buckets and totes and if you do have a small trailer,
that's what I was going to ask. Or a pickup load.
Yep. We've got a little tractor out there that we'll load up. We make it as easy and painless as possible. So, it's from 9 o'clock to 1 o'clock on Saturday.
Okay.
And if I could just add too, Dave, you might mention kind of the process for some who aren't familiar with. I mean, most people are repeat, but because they realize what it's done for their plants and vegetables. But kind of mention how the process makes it almost odorless and what it does.
Yep. So what we do is we spend quite a bit of time at getting this process and ready to go, and it's basically a soil broke down into a soil. So what it'll do is we'll line it up, we'll pile it up, and then we turn it multiple times and pile it, and then what it'll do is it heats up to 130 to 150 degrees, and then what that does for it is it breaks it down. It kills any weed seed or any bugs or anything that could or may be in it, and we do that about 3 times over a period of time, and so that it really breaks it down and just turns it into a potting soil. A soil that's odorless and really is easy to work with. So quite a process going into it, but it makes it work well.
Yeah. This will be the last weekend, right?
Right.
That they can do this. We want to stress that.
Yes.
Okay.
And again, we had so many people come out last weekend. So I hope if you weren't one of those people, you still have Saturday to come. So, stop by 9 to 1. If you come down, like you're headed to the South Feedlot, you'll see us just north of the main entrance. We've got a loadout facility there, and we'll have a tent. And like Dave said, we're there, and we'll help you load all of your containers up.
Yeah. Other things happening with Adams Land and Cattle. I mean, you guys are super busy all the time. What are some other things happening?
Well, right now the big thing we've got in the works is the annual youth animal quality assurance training that we put on for all of the local 4-H kids. That's something we started, I think, about 7 years ago, and we have about 170 kids sign up again for this year.
That's
and,
awesome.
Yeah, it's an interactive process. They'll be, learning about all of the proper best practices to ensure that the beef you're giving to, or the product you're giving to consumers, is the safest, highest quality. So that's been something really passionate for us. And like you mentioned, it's Beef Month. So that'll be coming up. And then, of course, I always have to just remind all of the listeners about our community referral program. It's something that we started last year, and it's been a big success for us because we know that our neighbors, friends and family have the best referrals for who would want to live in this community and work in this community. So I encourage everyone to check out our current openings. We have some great ones. We have an IT supervisor. We just added a sales and marketing research coordinator. We've got some welding positions, a project coordinator. So check them out. Think of anybody that you may have in your life that wants to live in Broken Bow, return here, or a neighbor or friend that might be qualified. You turn in the referral. If they're hired, you get steaks, a little grilling and barbecue package. And if they are still working here in a year, then you'd get $500, and there's no lit.
How can you beat that?
Right, I know. Steaks and
you just
cash.
Can't beat that. Yes. And we've talked about this before, Liz, but there are many different aspects to Adams Land and Cattle. So it's worth your time to go on and look at these job opportunities because I mean, you guys have several different areas that people work in.
I think it's just surprising for everyone. And you know, traditionally we just think traditional feedlot, you think about feed truck drivers and pen riders, and those are huge vital parts of our feedlot. But we also have a lot of people that work on the facilities, and we have people that analyze data. So yeah, definitely check it out. I think you'll be surprised what you find as far as opportunities right here in Broken Bow, here at Adams. You know, we have a recruiting and communications position right now open. So just be sure to check it out, from the technical to the office positions. And we have day one benefits. And like Dave and I were talking, we think it's a pretty great place to work.
Yeah. Day one benefits is a big deal.
Yes.
When those benefits kick in on day one of employment, that's a big bonus.
Yes.
Big bonus. Okay, so we've talked compost, and it's this weekend, right? 9 to 1. Last chance to get it if you want it. Okay. Anything else that we need to discuss, whether it's related to that or whether it's other things coming up through Adams Land and Cattle?
Well, the only thing I would say is be sure to share your pictures of your projects. That's been something fun. People have been dropping their pictures on our social media of their planting projects.
Yes.
And we're doing a beef grilling package drawing giveaway for the compost days. So people that entered for that, and then we'll have a picture contest as well. So once you get your gardens and your flowers planted, be sure to drop those pictures. And I think Dave might have something else. Did you want to mention?
Well, I gotta have a big shout out to all the Adams Land and Cattle volunteers that's helped put this together. I mean, it's more than it's a group effort, and they from start to finish. I really appreciate their help. And then I want a big thank you to Bump Markham and Adam Forrester for Markham Construction for the use of their trailer. That has been tremendous help. They let us use that every year, and it's helped us out a lot. So I appreciate there. And then kind of finally, I want to thank all the local people for coming out and supporting our event here. So like I say, one more weekend, Saturday from 9 to 1, and come out and grab the compost.
Yeah. Have we emphasized the fact this is free?
Right. Yes.
We need to emphasize that.
Yes.
It's free, folks.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And I think everybody's surprised they come. We grab the buckets out of the back of their vehicles and we start loading it up for them. And I think people are like, I can't believe this was free. So definitely come out. It's something we take a lot of joy in doing it for the community. So we hope to see all of you out there.
Well, you enjoy doing it. The community, I know, appreciates it.
Yes.
So thanks for doing it.
Yep.
Of course.
Anything else?
No, I think that's it.
I think that's great.
All right. It's great to see you both.
Yeah, always good to see
Thanks
you
for
too.
coming in.
Yep.
All right. We'll continue with more of the Breakfast Show after this.
Pearson Physical Therapy invites you to a free upcoming event to learn essential skills for caregivers. May 26th at 2 p.m. at the Broken Bow Library. Learn instruction on fall prevention, transfer training, positioning tips, lifting techniques, and more. Attend whether you're a full-time caregiver, have a grandparent living with you, or simply want to learn how to keep your loved one and yourself safe. To RSVP, call Pearson Physical Therapy at 872-5800 or go to pearsonpt.com.
The Secret Garden is open every single day in May. Weekdays noon to 5, Saturdays 8:30 to 4:30, and Sundays from 1 until 4. In the greenhouse are the plants, but inside you'll find amazing home decor, antiques, Watkins, Dayspring boxed cards, lawn decor, Nebraska-made items, glazed pottery, crafts, and more. Grab a latte or smoothie and shop. 2 1/4 miles west of Myrna on Highway 92 and a half a mile north. The Secret Garden.
Spring cleaning applies to a lot more than just that junk drawer you've been avoiding for years. Refresh your checking account and upgrade to Premier Checking, the Bruning Bank account that rewards you for your everyday banking habits. Whether you currently have an account with us or not, setup is quick and easy. While you're cleaning up your banking, go ahead and explore the My Card feature on our mobile banking app. You can manage your debit card with one click and explore all the possibilities available to you. Learn more at bruningbank.com. Bruning Bank, member FDIC.
Good to have you with us here on the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show as we roll through this Tuesday morning together. I want to let you know that this Thursday is the third Thursday, and that means it's always a big day at Rustic and Red in Kozan. This Thursday is everybody's favorite day at Rustic and Red. It's the third Thursday with all kinds of specials while you shop, and it's what they call their Sip and Shop. every third Thursday. This week, 20% to 40% off women's apparel. Enter for a chance to win a summer wicker lantern with Flame Wave on Thursday. They'll be having 30% off all florals as well. The sipping will start at 4. The store will be open from 10 until 7. Stores decorated with summer and lake decor, so sip and shop with them in Cozad this Thursday at Rustic and Red. Also, we want to let you know that it's time to get registered for the Community Vacation Bible School at the Broken Bow United Methodist Church. This year's theme is Discovery on Adventure Island. It begins on Tuesday, May 31st and continues through Friday, June 3rd. It will run from 9 a.m. until noon each day. Now, we have posted this on our community calendar on Sand Hills Express. So go to Community Calendar, go to May 31st, click on the Vacation Bible School at the Broken Bow United Methodist Church, and you'll find a link that you can click, and that will allow you to register your child. So keep that in mind. Register now for the Community Vacation Bible School at the Broken Bow United Methodist Church. Again, this year's theme, Discovery on Adventure Island, and it will run from Tuesday, May 31st through Friday, June 3rd.
You've been asking, and it's happening. The Kahuna is back at the Bonfire Grill and Pub in Broken Bow every Wednesday. Swing by anytime on Wednesdays and get a ticket. Then come back at 6 for the drawing. You must be present to win. If your ticket is drawn, you choose one of 3 envelopes containing $100 cash, a chef's dinner giveaway, your choice of a meal prepared by the bonfire, given only once monthly, or a gift certificate. If the cash isn't taken, it adds up and increases for the next week. Join in on the fun, the Kahuna Drawing, every Wednesday at the Bonfire Grill and Pub in Broken Bow.
Gary's Superfoods is proud to serve you as your hometown grocery store. Pick up these deals through Tuesday. 85% lean ground beef in a 10-pound tube, just $3.99 a pound. Delicious Smithfield all-natural whole bone-in pork shoulder is $2.29 a pound. Start your morning right with 52-ounce Our Family orange juice for only $2.99. And snack during the day with Nabisco Oreo or Honey Maid Grams, 2 for $7. Gary's Superfoods, South B Street in Broken Bow.
Get the used equipment you need now. Purple Wave Auction sells hundreds of pieces of heavy equipment each week at no reserve auction. Items are selling in your area now. Bidding is simple. Visit purplewave.com to get started. Purple Wave Auction. Straight, simple, sold.
And we are back on the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show. Let me click on the camera because, ladies and gentlemen, Jeremy Shipe is here. Oh, brother. Jeremy's got his Boston Celtics shirt on. Do they start playing already tonight?
Yeah,
is it game one of the Eastern Conference Finals?
Yeah.
Wow,
Eastern Conference Finals, which Boston has been a half of. They've been a part of half of all Eastern Conference Finals in history. Isn't that crazy? Mike Breen said that.
Really?
Half of them. 37 Eastern Conference Finals the Celtics have been a part of.
When was the last time they made it to the finals? Do you have any idea?
Oh,
was it way back with Paul Pierce and that crew when they played the Lakers?
No.
No, they've been in it since then?
It's been since then, I think.
I don't know. You're so much more into the NBA than I am.
I try to be, especially playoff time. I try to catch up with everything. I always tell people NBA playoff basketball is 10 times better than regular season. Regular season is just horrible basketball. But when they start...
Well, the intensity really picks up in the playoffs.
When they start trying, it's a lot different. So, yeah,
they start defending a lot harder.
Exactly.
They
actually
start
playoffs. Showing that they can play defense. So, Celtics in 6. That's what I say.
Celtics in 6.
Yep, good luck
And they
to
play
them.
Miami, right? The Miami Heat.
1 seed versus 2 seed.
And then on the other side, it's Golden State and
the Mavs.
Dallas.
Yep.
All right.
Should be fun. I want to talk about Brew Baker's Coffee House and Gifts.
Please do.
They want you to know that they are open Tuesday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., and Saturdays from 9 until 3. I know there are a lot of celebrations going on. New cards are in to celebrate lots of different things. And remember their fresh flower arrangements that are also available. They have beautiful decor for your space or space of someone that you want to give a gift to. Gourmet chocolates, art sets like macrame and scratch art kits, puzzles and unique novelty toys for kids. They even have fun electronic gifts like fun speakers with colors and a retro-style speaker, wireless headphones, and phone accessories. And coffee with a friend is always a good idea. Baked treats are available any time of the day, and breakfast burritos are a great way to start off your day if you're in the area. They have a specialty one created daily. That's Brew Baker's Coffee House and Gifts in Arnold, Tuesday to Friday, 8 to 5, and Saturday, 9 to 3. They would love to see you soon.
All right. The Broken Bow Golf Club looking for some help at the clubhouse. They have an opening right now for an individual to manage the operations of the golf course clubhouse. This person would be responsible for overseeing and conducting the day-to-day operations of the clubhouse and bar area. Must be a self-starter and able to work independently. Some of the duties would include, but certainly not limited to, hiring, scheduling, and providing leadership and supervision to the staff, coordinating and organizing events, helping with tournaments, overseeing food and beverage ordering. And this full listing, by the way, is posted for you on sandhillsexpress.com on the employment page. Now, there would be some weekends, evenings, and holidays required to work. Salary would be negotiable. You can email your resume if you're interested to golfbbcc@gmail.com. Or if you have any questions, you can contact Jason White at 308-870-2601. Again, the Broken Bow Golf Club looking for an individual to manage the operations of the golf course clubhouse. And we'll continue with more right after this.
Barney Health Mart has wonderful savings during their May sale. Visit them Monday to Friday, 8 to 6, and Saturday, 9 to 1. Adult multivitamin and multi-mineral gummies in a 90-count bottle are $9.99. Health Mart Pain Relief Extra Strength 50-count caplets are $4.99. Ibuprofen 100-count coated tablets are $3.99. Health Mart anti-diarrheal caplets in 24-count packages are $7.99. Barney Health Mart, downtown Broken Bow. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
At the Callaway Good Life Center, their hometown facility offers the security and comfort of a small town with the advantages of city living. They offer speech, occupational, and physical therapy for their residents. Visit CallawayGoodLife.com for more information.
And we're back on the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show. It's good to have you along. 8:46 is the time, and we have more guests in the studio. Let me get them on camera if I can find the right button to push.
Oh, you don't have to
And
do that.
there they are. Of course we do. Steph, how are you?
Good. How are you guys?
Brad Miller, pull that microphone right up to you there so we can hear you. Great to have you guys in the studio. I'm just going to take a wild guess. Are we here to talk rodeo?
We are.
All right.
That's all we do.
Good.
Rodeos.
Well, we're right into the thick of it. Of course, when we think about high school rodeo, it is into its season now. What, 4 weekends already into the season, I think, on high school? And junior high is coming back to Broken Bow, the junior high state finals, correct?
Yeah.
All right. And it's going to be coming up this week.
Thursday, Friday.
Thursday and Friday, okay? And you guys are going to be heavily involved in it, I'm guessing.
We can't. We haven't had a junior high kid for 2 or 3 years now and can't get away from it.
Well, the reason is you guys do such a great job at getting it organized.
We have lots of good help. Actually have, that's just the way the rodeo world works. We have some close friends of ours from Fleming, Colorado, whose daughters went through the whole junior high thing and high school rodeo with our sons. And they want to come back and help, and I think they're using it for an excuse to come back and see everybody. But they're coming back from Colorado, just to help us. So,
well, we talk about this all the time when we talk about rodeo, the rodeo community, the rodeo family, and that's really what it's all about. And that's a good example of it right there, isn't it, Brad?
It is perfect.
Yeah. How many years now for the junior high finals here in Bow? Do we know? I mean,
I think it's
this will be the
sixth.
Fifth or
sixth?
Sixth? Yeah.
Well, actually fifth because we had a COVID year and didn't get to have one.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So this will be the fifth.
All right.
Yeah, and we have such tremendous support in Broken Bow from the businesses and then those that volunteer to help. It's truly amazing. And a lot of as we've talked about, maybe we should let somebody else take on the junior high. we've been asked, well, would you still do state finals in Broken Bow? Because the facilities are so good, the community is so great, the support we get is terrific. Yeah. So we're truly blessed.
That's what truly makes it work, is the support we get from our local businesses.
Yeah.
And typical Custer County, Nebraska thing. It's all hands on deck. What do you need?
Yeah. Well, and let's face it, it's an economic impact to the community when you have all of these families coming in to participate in the junior high finals. It's a great thing for everybody.
Yep. And I think this year we have about 140 kids that'll be competing, and so with those kids, obviously they bring their parents, and then typically they bring siblings because the high school rodeo will be in Stapleton on Saturday. So if you have a junior high sibling, you see lots of those high school kids there, and then they just head right on to Stapleton. So they're here. Typically they come in Wednesday night, so they're definitely getting fuel, because the type of rigs that everyone drives, you'll have to get fuel on Wednesday when you arrive, and then everyone's eating. Most of the members, their parents talk about going to the grocery store, because this is, for some, it's the biggest community they're around. They live in small towns, so it's kind of like coming to the city for them. And so they're eating out, and they're going to the grocery stores, and they're definitely getting fuel. So they're definitely, the impact can be seen.
There's a couple little shops down in the square that the moms like to hit up.
I'm sure. Yeah. So when is it? I know it's this week, but what are the days? Is it Friday, Saturday, or Thursday, Friday?
Thursday, Friday.
Thursday, Friday of this week.
Start things off at 10 o'clock on Thursday, and 9 o'clock or 8:30. I don't know.
So I think it's the indoor arena starts at 8:30 on Friday morning, and then I think the outdoor arena either starts at 9 or 9:30. I didn't bring the schedule, but we set them off a little bit so that we can try to keep the girls and the girls of boys, so that we can keep everything moving and we don't have any downtime. But it's free, so if people want to come and watch and talk, there's no cost to come and watch. And when we say junior high, we're talking 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th graders.
That's what I was going to ask you.
Yep. Yeah. So it's quite you have everybody from the 5th grader who this was their first time competing at state finals. Though we've been competing, all year, this is their first time at state finals, and you could definitely see the 8th graders who are ready to move into high school and are much more experienced. But
and that's one thing I wanted to hit on. I mean, and nothing to take away from like the state on your more high school events that people are.
Sure.
I mean, state's a big thing. It's
Yeah.
These kids are competing to go compete on a national stage
Yep.
against the Michael Jordans, the Tom Brady's of our sport. In fact, just an example, when our oldest boy Sean was in junior high, he was an 8th grader, and there was a 7th grade kid by the name, was from Clovis, New Mexico, and his name was Shad Mayfield. And Sean was, man, that kid can rope. And I said, you remember his name? Because you're going to hear about him again. Well, I didn't realize we'd hear about him as quick as what we did. When he was a kid, he was a senior in high school, wins Cheyenne, and wins the National High School Rodeo in the same year, gets to the NFR, and kind of has, I think the first year NFR, whatever happened to him, the next year, Shad Mayfield wins the world.
Wow.
So,
wow.
And in fact, we've, just put it as our own Nebraska hat, we all have a boy competing here in Thursday and Friday whose dad won the first round at the NFR in 2005 in the bulldogging. And for all the bull riding fans, to remember Justin McBride.
Oh, yeah.
He used to live up the road here, and a 2-time PBR world champion. His niece will be here competing.
Wow.
So, I mean, we've got, it's going to be the who's who.
It's fun when you start to see the names. Like we've obviously, with our oldest son, in his time in the association, we've done a lot of things and met a lot of people. But it's really fun when you can make those connections and then see them on the stage. I mean, I think when you get to the big stage of nationals, it's a whole new world, because the top 4 in each event from our state finals, it's a cumulative of points from the whole season, and then there's extra points and bonus points that are tied into state finals, which makes it nerve-wracking and thrilling and heartbreaking all at the same time. those top 4 then get to go compete at nationals and represent Nebraska. And this year it's in Perry, Georgia. So the top 4 kids in each event will go down to Perry in mid-June and compete against, I think there was, 1,700 kids last year, or 1,500 kids?
Close to 2,000.
Yeah, and so they're from all of the states. I think 48 of the continental states. Canada, I don't think could come still last year because of COVID restrictions.
Yeah, they could
Were
come.
they?
Yeah, there was rules that their dads, who most of them were professional, or a lot of them were professional cowboys, would have to come
That's
down
right.
and enter
A
in
rodeo.
a professional rodeo. So they'd enter a professional rodeo because that was their job.
Okay.
And then come to the junior high finals, and then go back up there. They had to quarantine for 2 weeks, and then most of them would do the same thing for the high school rodeo. So you got 48 states, the United States, Canada, Mexico, and
Australia, but I'm not sure on Australia rules yet. But yeah, so it's quite a big. I mean, the experience alone and the opportunities that the Junior High Association offers these kids is tremendous. And so it starts here this week. And like I said, we will see the range of emotions from, absolutely ecstatic and beside themselves to that person in the 5th hole who's the alternate, which is a great accomplishment in itself, but it's still just a heartbreak hole. I mean, it's.
Yeah. Well, Dave and I are going to be out there on Thursday and Friday doing interviews again this year with a lot of the kids trying to, I don't know. I was telling Brent yesterday, there's no easier way to spot 2 guys that are more out of their element than looking for Dave and myself walking around with a recorder trying to talk to these kids on horses and not get stepped on or not talk to them at the wrong time, like they're trying to get in the zone, or they just competed and they're trying to just control their emotions, but you just kind of have to push that aside and just hope that you're not annoying anybody. But we're going to be down there talking to some kids.
To that is just you ask the questions that everybody want to know.
See, that's what I told Brent. I'm like, I'd much rather love to go in not knowing much about rodeo rather than knowing too much, because then I can ask any question and not feel.
There's some colorful personalities that you start talking to the right one, you may end up there for a while.
Yeah, we had some great conversations last year. Yeah, there was one kid I talked to. He's like, "Oh yeah, I'm up next." I'm like, "Oh, well, I'll just leave you." He's like, "Oh no problem," and he's just chatting forever. I'm like, "Don't you need to Oh, it's fine." I'm like, "Okay, all right. I mean, if you want to talk, I'll
Everybody
keep listening."
competes a little bit different, and that's what he might have needed to stay loose.
And then he went out there and had a great performance. Yeah. He was just nice and cool-headed.
Yeah, I really appreciate you guys coming out. I love to listen to it, and I think the kids like it, and I think it helps to give, everybody, people that know us that don't rodeo kind of wonder. So I think when they can hear the kids talk and they talk about their friends or they talk about other people, I think it really supports that family concept because, as I talk about all the different emotions you'll see, but then you see their buddies who maybe beat them, and then they're consoling them and they're feeling bad because they beat them. I mean, it's just such a team sport, even though it's really, except for a couple events, it's really an individual sport.
The deal is all the buddies want they want their buddies to all make it so they can go have a week.
Yeah, go have fun in Georgia.
Yeah, and it's a big time. I mean, you're down there to compete for serious, but there's a lot of downtime and the water fights, and boy, I could tell you.
He might instigate some of them, so he might be able to tell you about a lot of other things.
Maybe a couple times, but it's all part of being the camp sponsor, right?
Yeah. So the events, I know most of them are somewhat similar to the rodeo events that we're used to, but when you're dealing with the age of kids, I'm guessing some of the rough stock stuff is a little bit different, is it not?
Yeah, there's a local guy, Stan McKeel, who's helped us out with the bull riding for a long time, and he's got the nicest little set of bulls that match up with these kids that
because it's like junior. It's supposed to be like a junior bull riding. So
yeah, but I mean, even if they go to nationals and stuff, they'll get on some bigger bulls that some of them will get kind of hooky. But his bulls, he'll sort through them and they'll still buck, but once they get them off, all they want to do is go back to the pen. They're not gonna go hunt a kid up and try to hurt him. So I mean, and then with the other events that you had, like the saddle bronc and bareback, which typically done on a horse, it is in the high school level. It's done on steers, like roping steers, big rope. I mean, steers that are too big to rope anymore, that they will put a saddle and a bareback ring on them, and we'll buck them out.
Yeah.
And the only other event that's different that in junior high is ribbon roping. And in ribbon roping, you have a competitor on their horse that ropes the animal, and then you have a member in the arena, and there's a ribbon on the tail of the calf, and the roper gets off, and they together have to be holding the calf and pull the runner pulls the ribbon and runs. Now, it's my favorite event, most favorite, hands down favorite. There's a lot of there seems to be more danger to it, but it's the fun. It's fun to watch them. But
well, we'll encourage people to come out and watch because you can for free.
Yes,
right?
absolutely.
Yes.
Thursday and Friday.
Thursday and Friday.
All right.
Yep.
What about, you've talked already about the great volunteers. Can you still use more volunteer help?
We can always use more volunteers.
Okay.
We just talked about the high school kids that were coming through here with their parents that would compete in the go on and compete in the high school kids this weekend, or at the high school rodeos this weekend. And God bless most of them. You don't have to tell them. They'll just jump in and start sorting, or calves or cattle or whatever they need to help. But there's always a couple of them standing around if you need them. That they're more than willing to jump in there and help. But yeah, I mean, volunteers. Nobody wants to help. Well, they'll turn down free help.
Yeah. Well, and I think that it's interesting. Like, Deb Briner got hooked on coming out, and she did some work for us when she had her embroidery shop, and then she said, "Well, I'll come out and help." And she's helped every single year, and she times, and she loves it. And so I think people. Different people may have an opportunity to do something that maybe they haven't ever been involved with before, or didn't know they liked to be around the rodeo, or could learn something new. So we are always open to help, and we can find jobs that anyone can do.
And just when I'm thinking about it, for spectators that are coming out that are interested, they'll be running 2 arenas. So the indoor barn and the out trotter arena. We'll be running at the same time. The indoor barn, depending on what you want to come out to look and what you want to watch, the girls pole bending and the girls barrel racing, and boys and girls goats will all be in the indoor arena. Everything else will be in the outside.
So your rough stock and then all your roping events will be outside.
Okay.
All right. Yeah.
Well, guys, thanks for coming in. We wish you a great week. And as Jeremy mentioned, be listening to KCNI.
Yep.
We'll be doing reports from the junior high finals, talking to the kids. On KCNI Thursday and Friday.
Great. So. Thank you so much. And we'll be looking for Dave and Jeremy, too, because they do stand out a little bit.
I like to.
Even if I tried not to stand out, I would still stick out like a sore thumb. I just accept it.
I like to sick them. I like to sick them on the right kid. You go talk to that one over
there.
You go.
You know who to have them talk to, don't you?
I harass most of them.
There you go. Well, guys, thanks again for coming out. We appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
It's 9:02. This is the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show.
You are listening to the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show. Go, go, go! On KCNI, KPBN, Broken Bow, Nebraska.
CBS News special report. President Biden and the First Lady are scheduled to land in western New York in a few minutes to pay respects after what police say was a racist-motivated massacre at a grocery store. Correspondent Ed O'Keefe at the White House.
The President and First Lady are headed to Buffalo and plan to stop by a memorial there at the Tops supermarket to meet with victims' families, police, and other first responders who were there on scene over the weekend. Later at a community center, the White House says he'll call out the, quote, despicable act for what it is. Terrorism motivated by a hateful and perverse ideology that tears at the soul of our nation.
Investigators say the 18-year-old suspect bought an assault-style weapon legally. Zanetta Everhart's son, who works at Tops, was shot but survived.
Why should someone like me be able to purchase a military-grade bullet that explodes?
CBS News special report. I'm Deborah Rodriguez.
From the Fox Sports Studios in Los Angeles, here's Monsi Bolaños.
The LA Dodgers beat the Arizona Diamondbacks 5-4 last night, all on the Dodgers radio network.
2-0 pitch. And Taylor smashes one to right and deep. Going back is Smith. He's to the track, to the wall. It is gone. A home run. Chris Taylor, his third of the season. A 2-run shot and the Dodgers lead it 5-2.
The boys in blue are now half a game up on the Padres in the National League West, while the Yankees improved to a league best 26-9 after beating the Orioles 6-2. We have the Stanley Cup Playoffs tonight. The reigning champs, the Tampa Bay Lightning, will take on the Florida Panthers first for Game 1 in the second round of the Eastern Conference. Then the St. Louis Blues will take on the Colorado Avalanche for Game 1 in the second round of the Western Conference. That game is set for 9:30 Eastern Time. We also have Game 1 of the NBA Playoffs, the Eastern Conference Finals. The Boston Celtics will take on the Miami Heat at 8:30 Eastern Time.
Here's your weatherology forecast. For today, look for a mixture of clouds and sunshine. Can't rule out a slight chance for an isolated shower or storm into the afternoon as highs reach the middle 80s. Then for tonight, lingering chance for showers and storms in the evening, a low of 54. We're back to sunny and dry conditions on Wednesday, low 80s for highs. Thursday, hotter but breezy conditions, highs approach 90. For the Weatherology Weather Center, I'm staff meteorologist Michael Carroll.
News and weather was brought to you today by Custer Electric and Irrigation in Broken Bow. Irrigation season started early this year, and Custer Electric and Irrigation wants to remind you of important offerings that set them apart. They are once again offering free FieldNet and NFTrax demos for this growing season. Demos are limited, so make sure you call soon to reserve your pivot control or set of NFTrax. If you want to skip the demo and buy, Custer Electric and Irrigation recently installed 4 radio bridges that allow the service area for telemetry and FieldNet to expand where you may not have previously been able to get it. More bridges also mean cheaper annual subscriptions, so talk to Lance to see what he can do for you. If you need tires but don't want to upgrade to NFTrax, 11.2 by 38 tires with reinforced rims with tubes are on hand and on sale for $1,000 per tire while supplies last. Of course, if your pivot is leaking more than irrigating, don't settle for second best on sprinklers. Update today to have installs done before service season heats up. Call Lance at 880-1507. Check them out on Facebook or at custerei.com. Custer Electric and Irrigation. Experience the difference.
All right, back on the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show, 9:06, as we move into the 9 o'clock hour, and we have more guests in the studio. Hello, ladies.
Good morning.
Nice to have you here from Off Broadway.
Yes.
They are the guests now. And I just, let's see, I'm so sorry. I must have misplaced it. Dave left me a list of personal questions that I was supposed to ask you, but I lost the sheet. I'm very sorry, Jody.
Sad day.
I'm so sorry.
He's not here, so you just do what you do.
Okay. Well, let's talk about Off Broadway then.
Sounds great.
All right. I was driving by the other day, and I saw signs that I think said openings. Yep. So you still have some available spots, right?
Yep, we do have a few. Just call and see what we have to have available. We do still have that special that we're running, but it will end the end of June. So if you want to take advantage of the special apartment, you need to do so right away.
Okay.
To get that special. But there's a process that goes with it. So they need to get a hold of Jody, and we'll get that process going.
All right. So if interested, just call Off Broadway, and Jody, you'll visit with them and get them in the right direction.
Yep. And if I'm not there, then Jessica or Audrey can help them.
Okay. Great.
Absolutely. Yep.
All right. And you said this is now to the end of June?
Yeah, end of June it will end.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Yep. So if they want to take advantage of and it's a pretty fantastic special. So
Yeah.
I mean, they'll miss out a lot if they don't. So, yep. And then we do, like always, we offer the 3 meals a day, weekly laundry and housekeeping service, transportation in-house, beautician, library access 24/7, soft served ice cream, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, lawn and snow removal. And our gazebo, we're going to be planning on some summer events that will be coming on soon. And we welcome their guests. And then we do also weekly shopping for them. So it's pretty busy.
You mentioned soft serve ice cream. Is that 24/7 too?
It is.
Are you kidding me?
Yes, they can come at midnight if they want to.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
I'm sorry. I'm just really excited. The ice cream machine never stops.
No, it don't.
All right.
No.
So what's happening in the kitchen? I know you guys do a great job at meals and good healthy meals too.
Very.
I know that's very important to you.
I took advantage of the Friday lunch. They had fried chicken, mashed potatoes, gravy. Oh yeah, it's to die for. We have some best cooks, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So yesterday, I think they had roast beef.
Yeah.
I mean, they're super, very, very good food.
Love the atmosphere of Off-Broadway, because you can tell when you walk in, at least when I've been there a few times, everybody just seems to have a smile on their face.
Yes, we love our jobs.
Good. Yeah, and the staff does, the residents do. I still remember when I was helping someone move in not too long ago, the group of gentlemen that were right there in that one little area, just visiting and I think solving the world's problems.
They do.
We visited with them a little bit, and man, what fun that was. That was great.
They were on the job, doing their job, what they do.
Now I have to ask, are the little baby birds growing up? Because when I was there last, it looked like Mama Bird had some babies.
Yes, she actually had 3 of them, and one for sure. It's hard when they're all, but they're growing.
Yeah.
So one's doing. I seen the one out of the cage, so I think they're doing okay. So.
And I would guess that there are some people that just come down and watch the birds for a while.
That is the truth.
That would be easy to do.
Yes.
So,
yes.
so I hope we're painting a picture of how wonderful the facility is, and it's a community. Is what Off-Broadway is, isn't it?
It's family, to be honest. It's more than just community, it's family.
Mm-hmm.
We all look out for each other.
Yeah.
So we make sure they get the best care that they can get. So plus enjoy the freedom of not having to do the snow removal and the lawn care.
Yeah.
And they get the best of both worlds.
Yeah, yeah. You still have your freedom, but some of those things that just aren't as easy to do anymore, you don't have the stress of dealing with them.
Nope, because we have somebody to help them with it.
Yeah, wonderful.
So we've got people in every position that will help some way or another.
Yeah.
So.
Anything else? I know you brought some notes in.
Yes, so we have a new program. It's a referral, and we're going to challenge.
Yes, I see that.
We're going to challenge you and Dave and Jeremy.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's a $500. So if you refer somebody to Off-Broadway as an employee for them to join our staff, we will give you $500. And it comes by, there's rules to it, but you'll get $500. If you get a resident to come live with us, no matter who it is, no matter where you work, you can refer somebody to us, and you will get a $500 referral as well.
Really?
Wow. Yes.
All right. Well, I believe he's old enough. Can I refer Dave as a new resident?
We'll have to talk about that one.
Oh, okay. In other words, I would have to pay you $500 to take it.
There's fine print at the bottom.
Yeah. The little, does it say Dave is questionable? I think that's
must meet a certain standard.
That's right. Yeah.
Well, that's great, because while we were talking to Adams Land and Cattle earlier, the people of the community are the best, really the best people to promote things within the community.
Yep. Word of mouth is huge.
Yeah.
Word of mouth is huge, and if everybody knows somebody that can utilize Off-Broadway, and just send them our way, and you could potentially get $500 for doing that.
All right, and this is for referring someone to work.
Yep.
At Off-Broadway or a new resident
Correct.
at Off-Broadway.
Yep. And you do not have to work or live or associate with Off-Broadway. Just refer them and have them tell us who you are.
All right, good. And now that we're on the internet, there might be someone outside of our area, but might be listening, who knows someone in the area that either could would be a good fit for an employee or a resident. So that's great.
Yeah, we have residents come from, and employees come from all over. We just had a resident come from, I think, Wyoming. So, I mean, it doesn't have to be here. Maybe you want your mother to come back home.
Sure.
And it doesn't, you don't have the setup for home for them to live in their home, in your personal home. You can bring them to us at Off Broadway, and you could still come visit. They can come stay with you. They can come and go as they please, but you don't have the 24 hours, 7 days a week to make sure that they're okay.
Yeah, right.
So,
okay.
And we would take care of that side.
Well, it sounds like a great program.
It
is. All right.
Yep, we're really excited.
Yeah.
So.
Well, we'll encourage people to think about it and to send people your way.
That's right.
So
we would love that.
Thank you.
We do have a couple positions available, med aid and kitchen assistant. So,
okay.
Yep. So we're getting them filled up. So.
I know I've asked this before, and I apologize for asking it again, but the med aid, do you need to have a certificate or something in order to have that position?
Yes, you have to go through the course and then go through the state test.
Okay.
And we can help with that process. We can help you get started with it, or for the right candidate, we will even pay the tuition and stuff.
Oh,
so
okay. All right. So if someone's interested in that, they just contact you.
Or Audrey.
Or
Audrey would be
Audrey
the
is
best.
kind of the contact person for that.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Anything with nursing is Audrey.
That's that's where Audrey comes in, right?
Yeah. Anything with nursing.
Well, that's good. So. Anything else, ladies, that you want to visit about?
I do want to mention that we had 2 new positions open yesterday. We're looking for a part-time transportation person and a part-time maintenance guy.
Okay. All right.
So they can just call and ask for me.
And the transportation, is that just kind of taking people around locally, or does that go outside the area to doctor's appointments, or it depends?
It depends.
Okay.
It depends.
Right. Okay. Well, we'll encourage people, if they're interested, to visit with you about that as well.
Okay. Sounds good. Thank you.
Right. Anything else? Did we touch on everything?
All
right. I'm so sorry that I lost that sheet of paper that had all the personal questions that Dave wanted to ask you. Especially you, Jody.
What are we going to do with you? I don't know.
I don't know. Hey, thanks for coming in. We always appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, Jessica and Jody with Off Broadway joining us on the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show.
Let's see, if something costs less, but people are happier with it, that sounds like something to look into, and that's Medishare. Maybe you've heard switching to Medishare to pay for health care can save the typical family $500 a month, and that's huge, but it's also true that people are way more satisfied after making the switch, too. The customer satisfaction rate for Medishare is double that of the typical health insurance plan. Double. Medishare works. It's been around for more than a quarter century, and members have shared more than $3 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network. So, yeah, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care. So if you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan you're happy with, you can call right now and get a price within 2 minutes. A very, very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need. 866-88-BIBLE. That's 866-88-BIBLE. 866-88-BIBLE.
Why? Just think about it. Why is the #1 selling brand of chainsaws not sold at Lowe's or the Home Depot? We can give you over 10,000 reasons. That's how many authorized local steel dealers you can find across the country. Visit one and you'll find a range of dependable gas and battery-powered tools, from trimmers to blowers. And you'll find service from experienced professionals. Real steel. Find yours at steelusa.com. Lowe's and Home Depot are trademarks of their respective companies.
Just 3 words tell you everything you need to know. They tell you why we employ more than 2,000 workers at our factory in Virginia Beach, and why over 10,000 local steel dealers are putting battery power in the hands of Americans. Just 3 words. Made in America. Real steel. Find yours at steelusa.com. The majority of steel products sold in America are made in America of U.S. and foreign materials. Batteries and chargers are sourced internationally.
9:18 is the time. Earlier this morning, Jeremy had the opportunity to visit with Mark Stock with Big Iron Auction Company, so we're going to bring you that now on the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show.
You're listening to the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show, and we are very happy to say that we have Mark Stock on the line from Big Iron. Mark, how's it going this morning?
I tell you what, beautiful day in the neighborhood. And some folks getting some showers. That's nice. Some people getting a little more than that. We're getting some grass greened up, so that's good. We've got some really good livestock that we're selling here in the next couple weeks on the Big Iron website. So if you need some additional animals, you got your opportunity. And you also, if you have some extra grass that you want to rent out, we've got a list of people here who are looking to rent and or buy grassland or pasture land. So please give me a call here at 402-276-2077 if you've got some grass to rent or to sell with possession open for this year. Now, we do have a big lineup of machinery selling on our Wednesday sale. May the 18th, folks, features 1,720 plus items. We've got quite a few retirement sales. Dan Barrett, he is from Kimball, Nebraska, and they are retiring, folks. They've got 50 items on the sale tomorrow, including a 2004 Freightliner FL70 tandem axle grain truck with a steel box and hoist. They've got a 1994 International 8100 Series day cab semi-truck. They got a 2006 Case IH 2388 combine. They got a 2012 Titan gooseneck livestock trailer as well. Those are some of their headliners. They got a lot more equipment as well. Then Merle Reeg is retiring. He's from Kearney, Nebraska. They got a Massey Ferguson 8560 combine. They got a well-cared-for Case IH Magnum 7130 tractor. They've got a White 2 155 Field Boss, and they've got 6-row 36-inch equipment, cultivators and hillers and planters. So check those out. We've also got Rollin Hood and Son, their retirement sale by Cozad, Nebraska, 57 items. Now, Rollin Hood and Son, they've been freighting livestock around for many years, and they're getting out of the business, retiring. And they have got some really nice Merit Gold Line cattle pots. In fact, there's a 2021 year model. There's a 2019 year model. There's two 2016s. There's a 2015 year model Merit Gold Line. Plus, they've got a couple Wilson Silver Star cattle pots. There's a 2018 year model and a 2019 selling for Rollin Hood and Sons. Plus, they've got Kenworth T800 semi-trucks. There's a 2010, a 2008, there's a 2000, and a 1997 year model Kenworth. All excellent maintenance, folks. They've all had fantastic service in the shop there by Cozad. Plus, all of their service equipment is also selling. Their shop equipment, their testing equipment, their torches, their welders, and all those good quality items. That's the sale for Rollin Hood and Son. Their retirement sale on BigIron.com closes out tomorrow here on May the 18th. Now, we've also got the Philip Nelson and Susan Nelson Family Trust retirement sale. They're out of Windham, Kansas. They got a big John Deere 1890 air seeder with a 1910 cart. They've got a 2006 Case IH 2388 combine. They've got a Case IH 2062 flex draper head. They've got a 2007 AGCO DT200 mechanical front tractor. They have also got a 2630 John Deere Greenstone monitor that's going to sell on the Big Iron website. So just super sharp equipment there. If you're looking for feed wagons, folks, Brian Willems from Protection, Kansas, has got 2 Rotomix feed wagons that will sell. We've got an 8-row 30 planter selling in Spearville, Kansas. It's a John Deere 1750 series 8-row 30 planter. It's a 2008 year model. In Mount Hope, Kansas, folks, there's a John Deere 8220 two-wheel drive tractor with 5,290 hours selling for Warren Miller. There's a 2016 Tempty 43-foot grain trailer that's located in Jamestown, Kansas, selling for Carter Trucking LLC. We've got skid steers. We've got some bulldozers. We've got some excavators selling as well. Carmichael Farms out of Sedgwick, Kansas. They've got 24 items, including a John Deere 7610 tractor with a loader. They've got a Brent 420 grain cart. Larry Cohen has got a big Case IH STX 450 four-wheel drive tractor. He's got a John Deere 9650 combine. And the list goes on and on, as we have got some outstanding equipment that will sell to the highest bidder here on the Big Iron website. Now, we do want to tell everybody about the big classic car sale that is coming up on the Big Iron website. It's just an unbelievable assortment of cars, and some of these vehicles, folks, are just going to make your mouth water as the classic car sale items are starting to get posted here on BigIron.com. If you are in the market for collectible cars, there is a Boss 429 that is going to sell to the highest bidder. These all come from the Bruce Schneiblener Muscle Car Collection. It's just an unbelievable set. There's a 1970 Chevrolet two-door SS hardtop Impala. There's a 69 Chevrolet SS Camaro Pace Car convertible. There's a Chevrolet two-door Impala convertible in 1969, a 1969 Ford Cyclone CJ Mercury. There's a 1968 Chevrolet SS convertible, a 1968 Chevrolet RS SS Camaro. There's a 68 Camaro SS Camaro as well. There is a 1967 Chevrolet L79 El Camino, a 1955 Chevrolet two-door Bel Air hardtop. The headliner, folks, is the 1974 Boss 429 Mustang that has only got like 16,000 miles on it. There's a 1970 Chevrolet Chevelle SS Malibu that's selling. There's a Chevrolet SS El Camino. It's a 1970 that's getting a lot of attention. And I'm just touching on a few. There's several more. Folks, these cars are located by Kearney, Nebraska. There will be some public inspections on these particular cars, but those are going to be sold in the afternoon on June the 16th. You're going to mark your calendar because, boy, do we have some outstanding vehicles selling on that upcoming car sale. Go to bigiron.com for all the latest information on the classic cars. And happy bidding, as every one of these vehicles will sell with no reserve to the highest bidder. Those are just some of the things that are going on. If you've got land, if you've got equipment, if you've got cars that you would like to sell, we can help you. And if you're buying any of the above, just keep watching our website for all the latest information.
All right, Mark, sounds awesome. BigIron.com, the place for people to go. And I'm looking at that car auction right now. Gosh, those are gorgeous.
They are something special. They've been stored meticulously. These are cars that have mostly matching numbers. And where do you find it like that?
Yeah.
They've been stored in Butch's collection for a long, long time. And people have been calling already from all across the globe to pick some times out when they can come look at these vehicles. So even if you're not interested in buying them, which I don't know why somebody wouldn't want to put any one of these cars in your collection, you're definitely going to want to come and take a look at them. They will sell once again on June the 16th here online on bigiron.com.
All right, Mark. Well, it sounds like the beautiful weather has the folks at Big Iron working hard as ever. Not that you're ever not working. You're always busy, but it just always puts a little bit of a pep in everyone's step when spring comes, doesn't it?
It sure does. We get some of these nice warmer days and people want to take the top down. They want to go drive around. And we got some of these, a lot of these towns now, they do cruise nights, and that's kind of fun. Gets people out of the house, and they kind of started real heavy duty when COVID and pandemic was out because people could keep their social distance, but they gained a lot of traction with that stuff, and it's just a lot of fun. So we definitely encourage everybody to enjoy the summer months and be safe, and watch bigiron.com if you want to buy or sell equipment and cars.
All right, Mark, thanks for giving us a call. We'll talk to you next time.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's Mark with Big Iron.
State purpose of visit.
Well, looks like the old tractor's gonna kick the bucket this year.
Searching internet for new bucket.
No, I want to check insurance rates.
Sale located. Right now, get 20% off new bucket with code It's Raining Buckets.
Robots don't know you. We do. For more than 80 years, Farm Bureau Financial Services has relied on relationships to get you the insurance coverage you need for your farm or ranch. Find a Farm Bureau agent at fbfs.com/protect. It's your future. Let's protect it.
Weed resistance is a growing problem for soybean growers, but now there's a way to control weeds and help break the cycle of resistance. New Preview 2.1 SC herbicide from UPL, an innovative new combination of active ingredients in a novel SC formulation. So powerful, so long-lasting, it can control the most devastating broadleaf weeds before they start, giving you a preview of what your fields will look like at harvest. Ask your retailer about new Preview 2.1 SC, and always read and follow label directions.
It's time for the 2022 World Pork Expo, the world's largest pork-specific event. Join thousands of pork industry professionals and enthusiasts from across the country on June 8th to 10th at the Iowa State Fairgrounds. See hundreds of vendors showcasing the latest technology and get your hands on innovative new pork products. 3 days of education, networking, fun, and delicious pork await you. Plan your Expo experience today. Learn more at worldpork.org. That's worldpork.org.
We are back on the Breakfast Show. 9:28 is the time. It's good to have you with us as we roll through this Tuesday morning together. We have friends from Central Nebraska Medical Clinic in the studio with us now, and we'll get them on the screen so you can see them on Facebook Live. Welcome.
Welcome.
Morning.
Thank you.
How are you both?
Doing pretty good.
All right. Jennifer Nielsen, Jacob Karmazine is here with us. So thank you for joining us. We were kind of visiting right before we went on the air. I know that one of the things you were kind of wanting to talk about, Jacob, is physicals. We're coming out of the school year, but now it's time to get prepared for what is ahead, and certainly physicals always come into that.
Yeah. So I imagine, I mean, people with school coming to an end aren't really thinking about next year, obviously. But anytime from now, obviously, until like school starts, we'll start doing school physicals. And so, a lot of people, of course, do or don't have insurance. And so if you have insurance, a lot of times, and people may or may not know this, but it's part of like Obamacare or Trump Care or whatever we're calling it these days, but it's part of your insurance. Usually they will pay for like a wellness exam at least once a year, and so that includes like the cost of the office call and like any routine or regular immunizations that are needed, and then you just have a chance to also just talk about health problems or health concerns or just other things that you might be concerned with your child.
Yeah.
So versus just, before we kind of always used to do the format of, we're having school physical day at school and, you pay the $30 or whatever it was, and then you just kind of run people through. We've kind of changed a little bit of our model. That way it's a little bit more comprehensive for people instead of just you get your standard physical, but we don't talk about your shots or any health screenings or other health issues and stuff. So.
Okay. So to set that up, they just call the clinic?
Basically, you just call and then find whatever time works. I mean, we do them every day, Monday through Friday.
Okay.
So, and then if you don't have insurance, you still can come and have a physical. You just pay like a standard cost, and then also like we do have like vaccines that we can give as well for like people that don't have insurance that are at a reduced rate, or sometimes people go to like Loop Basin, like they go to the health district, and they can get shots like for free there. There's other resources and stuff as well. If people have questions, they can always call and talk to us. But those are kind of the two major arms that we deal with.
Yeah. When I graduated high school, I just felt like, you know what? I don't need to have any yearly physical now. And now that I've gotten older, I go in for the yearly physical. But it's important, right, to have the yearly checkup no matter what your age is.
Yeah, I mean, definitely for sure. And then especially, like I said, one of the good things that came from, some of our healthcare system we have now is that your insurance is required to usually pay for an annual exam once a year, which includes the cost of your office call. And then, like I said, if you're older, most younger kids don't need screening labs for things like your cholesterol or diabetes or whatever. There's particular instances. But, if you are someone who's older, a lot of times those things will be covered screenings as well. Everybody's plan is different and everybody's health needs are different. So I can't say it's, everything's covered 100%, obviously.
Sure.
But, usually for a wellness, you'll get them at a lower cost than if you would just come in and say, hey, I want my cholesterol checked, and usually then you're just paying out of pocket.
Yeah. Well, it's like I said, it's great to have done because when you can catch something early, that's always a benefit, isn't it?
Yeah, an ounce of prevention is a pound of care is the phrase that we.
I like that one.
That we like to use. So if you catch it earlier, then usually you won't have other problems down the road, cardiovascular disease or whatnot. But yeah, I mean, ours specifically, we were kind of targeting more towards like the school physicals
Sure.
and stuff. But true, I mean, yeah, it's true for anybody. So, and I think typically for school, it's usually by the first day of school. I think you have to have it. I think I forgot to mention that, or the first day of practice, they always say, which isn't always the first day of school. But.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it sounds great, and I love what you said about the ability to have more time to maybe talk about some things as opposed to, the quick physical that I remember when I was growing up through school, it was like 2 minutes. Yeah, you look fine. You're ready to go. But when you can talk about some things and have that extra time, that's always a benefit, I'm sure.
Yeah, for sure. And by and large, I mean, like I said, most kids are healthy because they're kids, but, obviously some aren't, or, you might detect something that leads you to something else. A lot of times we'll notice either like scoliosis or like heart murmurs sometimes, or just, sometimes they have questions about their growth or development or their skeletal development. And so those are usually things that we have questions about. But
yeah.
So by and large, most kids are healthy, but every once in a while you have something that's not quite right.
Sure. Yeah. What are some of the other topics that you wanted to talk about here this morning?
Well, I have the Reach Out and Read program, which we started last year. I think it's maybe been a year and a half. And this is more for the younger well child chicks. So we start, we're giving out books starting at 6 months when the baby comes for their 6-month checkup. They do it at 6 months, 9 months, 12 months, 18 months, and then they at their 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th year checkup. So if you are our patient by a 6-month checkup and you continue until your kindergarten year, you will get 8 books.
Oh, nice.
And they're very nice books. And they're very age appropriate. So for instance, babies love to look at pictures of babies. And it gets their attention. And so like the 6-month book is nothing but baby faces making different, having different emotions, hungry, cheerful. And so, I mean, the age appropriate part helps with where they're learning at that time. And most of our books are bilingual. Some are, some aren't, but most of them are. And then as they get older to where they're more like, I would say, toddler age, you're teaching more colors and word sounds, and so the books progress with that. And then when they're maybe pre-K, then they start with the shorter sentences. Now, by the time they go to kindergarten, and, you know, the kindergarten physicals are hard because, you know, there's some immunizations involved, and and it's scary, but we just tell them that everybody in their class is doing it, but they get these really nice books. I mean, they're pretty big, hefty ones, and they're just full of stories. And so that's kind of the Reach Out and Read program, really.
Yeah. Well, it's great for mom and dad, too, I would think, because, well, Jeremy's in this stage in his life now with a little one at home, but I remember when my children were little, there was, I don't know, there was just something about having them on your lap, reading a book.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's beneficial for everybody.
It is, and children like to have that. They're getting their parents' attention at that time. Just the closeness physically of getting to sit on their lap or be close, and hearing their voice is, you know, that's whether it's parents, grandparents, guardians, you know, sisters and brothers, whoever.
Yeah.
Kids love to be read to, and that's always memories that they'll, you know, that they will have forever.
And it just helps with their development, right? I mean, even when they're, you know, under a year old, like you said, looking at the pictures, I mean, it helps with the development of the child too.
Yep, it really does. It helps with their speech, their listening skills. I mean, and the things that you learn in the book, you know, those are priceless things, and I think it just makes them more comfortable in learning to sit still.
Yeah,
that's hard to. That's something the teachers would appreciate your child knowing by the time that they get to school.
Yeah, you talked about the immunizations that the kids go through, and they're kind of tough. They're tough on mom and dad too.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I think sometimes I think it's harder on the parent. I think if I was a parent, I'm like, I would have loved to have had a book.
Well, I was out of town when Nicole took Isabel in for her last immunizations, and when I came home that night, she was like, "You're doing it next time." That was horrible.
It is awful, and a lot of dads aren't tough enough, I don't think. No offense, guys, but
no, I know
they have a hard time with stuff like that because, you know, inflicting pain on your child is never. It makes you feel like a bully. Yeah. But see, now they get a book, so
exactly.
It's okay.
It softens the blow for everybody, doesn't it? Yeah. Can I ask how has this program been going on for quite a while?
Yeah, I'm not for sure how long it had been going on before it came to us. It did come to us through a grant. We got boxes and boxes of books through a grant, and then there were just so many books that we still have some left over, and then later you get more from the program. But I don't know how we re-up and get more books, but we have a stockpile.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it was through Sixpence, so I don't know.
It was through Sixpence.
Exactly. And put in a plug for them per se.
Yeah. Go Sixpence.
Yeah.
There you go. Well, it just sounds like a fabulous program. So we'll encourage people to take advantage of that and be aware that it's available.
Right.
So,
right.
All right. Other things happening at the clinic that you want to talk about? Jacob, I got to be honest with you, buddy. I don't know why, but this last week has been terrible on my allergies. Are we there? Do we ever leave the allergy season? I swear I battle them all year long. But, are we starting to see that?
Yeah, so some people do have allergies year-round, especially around Broken Bow, it seems, for whatever reason. Agricultural communities, of course, there's more dust and trees and just different things in the air that you're allergic to. But, definitely I think I've heard a lawnmower outside every day now, so a lot of things like with the trees are pollinating and the grasses and people are mowing their lawns. And so I would say allergy season is in full swing. So we've had quite a bit of that. Otherwise it's kind of getting to the time where we start to see more injuries as well. Kids are outside playing and doing things, and they're not trapped indoors anymore. And so usually we'll start to see more of those kind of things, cuts and scrapes and broken things and injured things and so forth. So also this time of year, that's kind of funny that we see a lot of people come in for poison ivy, because they'll be out fixing fence or stuff like that, or out in pastures and getting things ready and out in the weeds and tall grasses. And so we see a lot of rashes too from allergies and people just being outside, or they're like Memorial Weekend, usually they go to the lake or the river or those kind of things. And so we kind of see that come in as well.
I'm embarrassed to say this, but the minute you said poison ivy, I'm starting to itch all over. I don't know why that causes it, but anyway.
Yeah, if you say poison ivy or like lice or bed bugs, people will itch.
Yes.
It's a magic word.
The power of suggestion, isn't it?
Yeah.
Anything else, guys, that you wanted to mention here this morning on the Breakfast Show? Were those kind of the main two topics, the physicals and the reading program? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
That's mainly it. The biggest thing I guess I wanted to mention, which I kind of have already mentioned, but just like I said, it is a benefit that your insurance offers now, that you can come in and it covers an office call and stuff. Whether it's, specifically we're talking about like younger kids, school age kids, and school physicals, but yeah, even adults that your health insurance covers the office call, and you're entitled to like certain health screenings now based on like your insurance and stuff. So. It's always good to look into those and check it out.
Yeah, and it's a good reminder, too. I'm thinking even for myself, know what your provider provides and take advantage of it, right?
For sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right, and you're paying for that insurance, so use it and come in and get that. That's a benefit of your insurance, is getting to come in. And even if your kid's not in sports, maybe they're going to camp, Boy Scout camp or band camp, some of them still require some kind of a physical before they're going to put you on a bus and take you so far away. So, or even if they're not going to camp, bring your kid in once a year and let somebody take a look at them and talk to them and make sure that they're doing good.
Yeah. All right. Well, guys, thanks so much for coming in. Enjoyed visiting with you, and we'll see you next time. I'm hoping it's here in the studio to just visit, and I don't have to come to the clinic to see you for a reason. But thanks for coming in. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Central Nebraska Medical Clinic, our guests here on the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show.